Tracy Pa with the Midday News. Octady Mining Limited successfully signed the fourth Community Mine Continuation Agreement, or CMCA, with the impacted communities of Western Province yesterday in Port Moresby. The agreement contains new and improved terms, delivering the largest increase in benefits in the agreement's history, with up to an 80% increase across the board. Some regions will now see more than 100% increases on their current CMCA compensation package. The fourth CMCA introduces 3 new components: youth development program to empower future generations, short-term investment opportunities to promote economic sustainability, and impact projects agreement to address the social development gaps. Department of International Trade and Investment, Midday Provincial Government, and Jundi Exports PVT Limited have established an agreement to facilitate a new processing plant in Midday under a joint venture agreement. This agreement was reached during a 2-day visit by the Minister for International Trade and Investment delegation to Sri Lanka. They visited the world-class processing facilities of Jundi Exports, a large-scale coconut-based food and beverages manufacturer and exporter.
A customary event was hosted by Jundi Exports yesterday in Sri Lanka, which included a Sri Lankan cultural performance, lighting of an oil lamp, and planting of 2 coconut trees in their Navik mills to seal the new relationship. The partnership will involve the establishment of a major coconut processing plant on 20 hectares of land owned by the Midday Provincial Government at Sia, along the North Coast Road on the outskirts of Midday. The plant will produce high-end coconut products. It was agreed that the state will own 51% shares and Jundi will own 49% in this project. According to Minister Responsible Richard Maru, this project will transform the entire coconut industry in PNG. Laboring to make copra and selling to copra mills to produce crude coconut oil will be a thing of the past. He said the expected cost for the proposed project is 100 million kina. The state will put down 50 million kina equity contribution from our state equity funding from the 2025 PIP budget. Managing Director for KIK, Alan Aku, said Midday has 3 million coconuts and can produce up to 206 million nuts a year. That is the primary reason why they will be setting up the proposed processing plant in Midday. Midday Governor Ramsey Pariwat looks forward to seeing this project get off the ground in his province. Carol Kidu Jr., TVWAN News.
Department of International Trade and Investment, Day 2 of the Petroleum and Energy Conference is underway at the Stanley Hotel in Port Moresby, with the first session ending on a high note yesterday. Opening today's session 1 as the first speaker was National Energy Authority Roland Maketa. He highlighted the vital support of PNG's international partners, including ADB, and mentioned the government's commitment to rise up to 5 billion kina in the next 5 years in collaboration with KCH, PNG Power, and NEA to have most of PNG's centers connected by higher voltage transmission lines that will form core function of our backbone as we connect PNG and increase our scale renewables. Maketa said this commitment is integral to NEA's strategy as it aspires to achieve 70% renewable energy, not just because it is a goal, but it reflects dedication to crafting a sustainable future for generations to come. A number of key topics will be discussed in today's full-day session. 2 of Papua New Guinea's top resource leaders shared one stage in a fireside conversation during the 2025 Petroleum and Energy Conference Gala Dinner at the Stanley Hotel in Port Moresby, united under the theme of Driving Reset PNG Vision within the resource sector. Acting Managing Director of Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited, Dr. Luke Liria, and Managing Director of Kumul Minerals Holdings Limited, Sarimu Kanu, engaged in a thought-provoking dialogue about the future of the petroleum and energy industries in Papua New Guinea.
I would like, Luke and myself were talking about this the other day, and we have policies after policies after policies, and we keep talking about it, and all policies in the realm of documents and dialogue only. What I would like to see is policies transferred, turned into projects, infrastructure comes up in a shared infrastructure with communities, and success is shared throughout. So driving policy to turn it into projects, it's like the implementation, the manifestation of policies must happen now.
In the Eastern Highlands province, the community of Nagamizua is celebrating a new beginning after years of hardship. Bisbee Financial Group Limited has restored clean water to the village, bringing hope, health, and dignity back to its people. Home to nearly 2,000 residents, Nagamizua was devastated by the events of 2022, which destroyed homes and cut off access to clean water. For more than 3 years, villagers relied on unsafe streams and containers to survive. Through BSB's Community Project Initiative, the Gorka branch partnered with locals to restore this essential service. BSB Group CEO Mark Robinson said the project restores dignity and improves livelihoods, while Chairman Robert Brunster noted it's part of BSB's 50 for 50 Giving Back campaign, funding 50 community projects nationwide to mark PNG's 50th independence anniversary. Australia's soaring gas prices have been blamed for a growing list of manufacturers closing. As the government reviews the gas market, the boss of one of Australia's biggest manufacturers has joined calls for an East Coast gas reservation policy to ensure an affordable and reliable supply.
Manufacturers like this are becoming a dying breed. The sector says high gas prices are to blame.
4 to 5 years ago, we were paying about $5 to $6 a gigajoule for gas. We're now paying around 15.
A growing list of manufacturers have already shut down.
Australian manufacturing is at a dangerous crossroad.
Now the boss of BlueScope Steel warns Australia risks repeating the United Kingdom's industrial decline if the federal government fails to fix the broken gas market.
How did we become one of the world's largest exporters of LNG, providing the energy that our trading partners need, while effectively starving domestic industry of a key input?
Calls for a fair gas price come after another energy-intensive manufacturer was given another bailout, this time $600 million from the federal and Queensland governments.
Securing this asset is an important part of securing a future made in Australia.
The Queensland smelters owner Glencore partly blaming high energy prices for its financial woes. The manufacturing sector is calling for a gas reservation policy to lock in affordable and reliable supply on the East Coast. They also want a mechanism to ensure prices are kept below $10 a gigajoule.
If Australia reserved just 1/3 of its current East Coast gas production, it would be sufficient to meet expected residential and commercial demand, industrial decarbonisation needs, and gas peaking generation to help firm renewables.
Without it, the sector warns there will be no future made in Australia.
Taxpayers will fund a $600 million rescue package for Swiss mining giant Glencore to keep copper processing in regional Queensland until 2028. The federal and state government bailout will secure at least 600 refinery jobs over the next 3 years, but some have labelled the move as a brand aid fix.
A struggling copper smelter thrown a financial lifeline.
This is an investment in the future industrial capability of the Northwest Province
Mining giant Glencore will receive a $600 million taxpayer-funded bailout to keep the Mount Isa facility and Townsville refinery afloat for another 3 years.
We recognise that there's still tough times ahead of us.
The announcement made alongside some of the 600 workers whose jobs have been saved. The package, split 50-50 between the federal and state governments, is contingent on reviews and a business viability study.
I made a commitment to the Mount Isa community that I wouldn't see it wither, that I wouldn't see this community die.
It would have been devastating for our economy. I guess for our population, we would have dropped dramatically.
Some locals say the reprieve will be short-lived.
It does feel a little bit like a Band-Aid fix.
I guess a good analogy for today is that it's a half-time in the grand final. They've got to half-time, they're in the game, but there's a lot to go before we can start popping champagne corks.
The Mount Isa facility provides half of Australia's copper smelting capacity and is a vital link for other regional businesses.
What it means for us in North Queensland is we are seeing the 17,000 jobs in our region sustained.
Glencore is the latest multinational corporation to receive a taxpayer-funded lifeline. But the federal and state government have defended the bailout, declaring it's in the national interest due to soaring power prices and global competition. Whyalla Steelworks in South Australia received a $2.4 billion rescue package earlier this year.
There's a good opportunity in Australia right now to say, what do we own these assets for, what do we want to do with them, and do we want to just keep saving them every few years, or do we want to reform them so they're there in the future?
And that ends the Midday News. To join us at 6 tonight for the main bulletin. Bye for now.